LJ's my favorite player of all time.
Really?
Oh, I love Larry Johnson. When I, and when I got to know LJ via the Knicks,
Of course, yes.
I'm like, damn, and I told him like, yo, LJ, you're my favorite player, and then I would announce it.
I
would announce it on the mic,
yeah.
and he'd be like, oh, stop, chill, because LJ's humble.
Ball players, what's going on? This your boy Arden here, bringing you into another episode of the Ball Players Podcast, where we talk with a who's who of special guests about the things we love about the game, as well as about their connection to it. I'm excited about today's guest because we've been rocking and knowing each other for a good minute, bro. And I'll lay out the scene right here. I remember for me and my career, Ball players, 2016, 2017, I'm starting to cover games, right? Finally getting the media passes and everything. One of the first teams that I was covering on a regular basis was the New York Liberty. And I remember starting to go to these games, incredible experience. Any given night, I'm interviewing Tina Charles, Maya Moore, et cetera, et cetera. And the guest across from me is one of the first dudes who I met from the industry who was mad cool and just bodying it on the mic. Like
Appreciate
basically bringing
that.
Playground to the Mecca.
Yeah.
And this is a dude who we want to talk MSG, we want to talk worldwide, we want to talk NFL, we want to talk whatever. This dude brings a great energy on the mic, as the MC, as the announcer, as the master of ceremonies. And I'm excited to have you on the Ball Players Podcast. Folks, welcome, Jason Negron.
Hey, thank you, Arden. Appreciate y'all having me. I'm like what you're doing with the platform, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. It means a lot. Jason, I'm excited to ask you this first question because this has been our repeating question to start the episode to just get the vibes right. What made you fall in love with the game of basketball?
Ooh, you know what? My first sports love is wrestling and baseball. Even though wrestling's entertainment now, but those are my first memories of going to Mets games with my pops. And we had the access. So, we were good at Shea. For some reason, he knew Doubleday's people. So, but I was always in love with sports. But growing up at that age, basketball wasn't on TV like that. I moved to Colorado and then came back to New York. Then it was like, man, basketball. Like, there was just larger access. And that was like the Jordan era.
So it's all early 90s.
Early 90s. Not going to front. Bulls won their first chip. I bought a Bulls hat.
Of course, you had to, man.
Don't judge me.
You
but ever
had
since
to.
then they started winning too much. I was like, nah, I'm not going to rock with Jordan no more. I'm going to go back to the home team, Knicks, and then that whole, 94 run. And, that team, X-Man. I mean, he wasn't on the 94 team, but, players like that, like Mace, Oak,
of course.
Starks, Big Pat, the big fella. That made me fall in love with it. And then, just, the culture of it, the jerseys, the video games were huge. When I got into the live 95 and all that stuff, it was over. And then trading cards. Pretty much that was it. I was the trading card king. I would go to places with my dad and basically know where the best inserts were.
Fire.
At the time. I was the maven. But I love it. It's my favorite sport to this day.
There's that subsection about 90s hoops and 90s in general. For you being at a point where, while young, of course, you were still old enough to understand, okay, who's hot, who's not, what's popping, team loyalty. For those who weren't old enough to fully experience 90s hoops and the culture around it, how would you best describe it? Because, folks are always talking about different eras and different generations and what could have been and what's not. But for you, again, having been able to live it, how would you best describe 90s hoops and that culture to someone who didn't experience that?
I feel it was more gritty. Now, I don't know when this episode is going to air, but take the All-Star game that just happened.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot of people on social media who weren't so pleased at the lack of competition. They didn't do that in the 90s. They were playing hard. Every play, doesn't matter if it's, exhibition or the All-Star game. They're going hard, and that grit was probably, the thing I'm missing the most in this game. And, a lot of the narrative, and I love this game, because they're far more athletic.
100%.
And a big argument now is like, oh, there's so much so much offense. These people couldn't stop them back then, but they're not playing defense like they used to. So I miss that. And I know, we're in the highlight era, so people want to see these type of things, especially online, but I like the toughness. I'm from New York. I like the grittiness.
Yeah.
So that's like my best memories, and the jerseys were so dope.
Yeah,
the jerseys were so dope back then. You know, vibrant, full of life. Not many options, but it was still really, really dope.
Which jersey is your favorite?
Man, there were a lot. You know, honorable mention to the Raptors. They were dope. I always had a lot of basketball jerseys. Kings, Knicks, of course. Got a lot of Knicks, but the Hornets, Charlotte Hornets.
That was tough.
LJ. LJ's my favorite player of all time.
Really?
Oh, I love Larry Johnson. When I, and when I got to know LJ via the Knicks,
Of course, yes.
I'm like, damn, and I told him like, yo, LJ, you're my favorite player, and then I would announce it.
I
would announce it on the mic,
yeah.
and he'd be like, oh, stop, chill, because LJ's humble. He's a real humble, down to earth guy, but he was my favorite when he was in college.
Yep,
and then he got drafted to the Hornets, and then the grandmama thing, and
Yeah.
then he became a Knick. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
amazing. So, so got to be that Charlotte Hornets, whether the teal or the purple. I like both.
Yeah. For me, it was definitely the Raptors.
Raptors one's so
That
tough.
was probably one of like my first big
tough.
jersey purchases as an adult. I got like that VC 99,
Yeah.
the purple joint. I was like, I need that.
Yeah.
And again, Jason, you know, for the folks that know of you and for those that don't, but when they go to a game and they see you doing your thing, right, you have built a career as an announcer, as a master of ceremonies, but there's always a beginning. What made you get into announcing?
Well, rapping. You know, I'm an MC, and you said it initially, master of ceremonies. That's the title I hold. I'm still a host as well, but I'm really a master of ceremonies because I can do everything. I'll do a wedding to, opening game ceremonies to the Pro Bowl I just did. You know, I'm very versatile. But rapping, I did that heavy in high school and into college, and then I became student government president. So I kind of like mixed those two worlds, public speaking and rapping, and then got into hosting. So I would do like, poetry slams and rap battles. I'd host them, local stuff. And I got an opportunity to go to apply for this tour. I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was the Truth campaign, thetruth.com, smoking prevention. I'm not big on cigarettes. And, shouts to GTM and my brother Tamir Brown, who gave me the alley-oop.
Yeah.
And it was a rigorous process, but I dunked the ball, I got the tour, and we had a choice or a preference. Like, do you have a preference? Would you rather go on the Vans Warped Tour or the N1 basketball tour? And I'm like, N1. Oh, my God. If it was more of a rap tour, I may have chosen a rap tour. I'm not going to lie, but I was like, N1, because I watched that.
Of course.
Every summer on ESPN, like the mixtapes.
Yeah, I'm a Volume 3 stan.
Oh,
That's
Lord,
what got me into
such
it.
a classic. And that changed my life forever. You know, I did that 2 summers. I did that 05 and 06, and I was in college. And I'll never forget, I stayed an extra year to be student government president. And I did on permit. I did classes on permit, and I was supposed to register for my next school. Shouts to BMCC.
Of course.
Student government president. I broke CUNY records, by the way.
Of course. They lead the league in Subway ads across the city.
Start here, go anywhere.
That's a fact.
I love BM, man. Great experience. But I missed registration, and I never looked back. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to figure it out.
And I want to get into, because I remember we had a convo about this at an event we were at, the OGs in announcing.
Yeah.
The OG that you mentioned, somebody that's touched my heart as an N1 stan. Please let the people know, man, the OG.
Shouts to Duke Tango.
Duke Tango. Oh,
baby. Lord.
Yes.
And, they showed a lot of love. Like, those guys were really, really dope. It was ill because we were the only sponsors. What I did was called the open run. So it was pregame.
I remember.
Prior to when the local ballers would play for a chance to play inside.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
When I was 12, me and one of my best friends growing up, Andrew, we went to the N1 mixtape tour in 05 and 06 at MSG, and we played in the open runs.
Really?
We played in open runs. We was like 13 years old.
That's crazy.
And we played. Actually, I went 2 for 2. Andrew punked out on me the first time. Because we, remember, they let anybody, all ages played. And they were dead serious. Like, if you want to play.
There was some all right kids, though.
Yeah, there were some all right kids.
Yeah.
And I remember we were in line, bro. And I just remember it was yesterday. To the left, there's 50, there's Escalade, there's AO. Like, all of these dudes there, we're literally in line before we're about to play in the parking lot. Andrew just like, nah, I can't play. I'm like, bro, you for real? So I go through and play, Didn't make the game, but I had a highlight that I remember vividly made one of the episodes where I threw the ball between somebody's legs on a fast break, and I had an assist. Oh, that had me hot in my hood.
Yeah, you were good. You were good. Yeah.
I had to. I was carrying around an N1 towel.
You would have went viral. You would have went viral.
I was like, yeah, N1 open run right here.
That was
so man.
That was on 33rd, closer to 8th. It was between the whole block. They used to go over the whole block of MSG. I remember that vividly. I'll show you a picture after of me rocking that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never forget that. That was such a vibe, man. And I was hooked.
Yeah.
For me, there's no other better feeling than rocking the mic. And that's why I've stuck with it so long. Like, there's nothing that can replace that. So, I love it. I love the game.
Man, I could tell, bro. And I want to just go back real quick when it comes to Duke, because it's going to lead us to the next question in terms of the evolution of the MC. I feel like more than ever before, there is now more of that correlation. Because growing up, and I think even going back to a few years ago, Jason, it felt like it was very separate, right? It felt like if you was somebody that was mainly in the arenas, end game host, announcer. Go to the parks, that's the MC, that's the life of the party. But now there's a correlation. It's like that same dude who I saw at the park can now be in a 20,000-seat arena doing the same thing, because now leagues and teams are going, oh, yeah, we want that energy. Like, we want that. How do you feel when it comes down to just the overall branding, the usage, and just the lifestyle of the MCs, of the announcers from when you started to now? How does that make you feel seeing that?
It's a gift and a curse. I enjoy it, and I love that people are getting the outlet to do what they want to do and be successful, but I'm really about the talent. So does your skill set match the love that you're getting or the shine that you're getting, which a lot of cases is not happening. You know, unfortunately. But shouts to everybody doing what they do. Yeah. You know, in my era, like, you had to earn the mic.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, even with rapping, like, you had to earn your slot to get on. Like, you had to be dope before you even got on. Now people are surpassing these steps, and they're getting a little frustrated, like, oh, why am I not here? I'm not here. Put in the work first. It's gonna come, you know, and I think a lot of the younger generation wants it so fast because that's what they think they see online. Like, you got to work your butt off, because I've done it all. I've done everything. I mean, we could have a whole nother episode on that alone. Like, facts. You know, every sport, not only sports, lifestyle. I'll even do a mitzvah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really look for that, and I urge anybody, like, who wants to get into this, do it for the love, not the likes. And just be genuine and real about it, but just perfect your craft. Be good.
Have your peers been able to, similar to like you and others growing up, like having a chance to watch those before you do their thing? Do you think, or do you even know better, there's been an opportunity for folks to really build together? Like, get better, like I could be your OG, or we can be peers, or is it everybody's doing their own thing? Because again, there's a lot more money. There's a lot more opportunities. It's like it looks like the Avengers out here. There's such a big universe. Like, have those opportunities to build and like compete even in a friendly way exist now, or not really?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, you can build. It depends. I think like a lot of the street ball guys, they stick together and, you know, they do stuff. But like, I have a crew, and while we all may kind of be competition, it's love there, and it's even better growing that network. So, for example, if I get hit up and I'm already booked, hey, or it may not be a fit for me, but like, hey, I can't do it, or I think this person I know can be better for you. So it's even better to grow that network. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. I don't see people as competition. I enter everything I do with love. Faith, not fear. You know? I got a nice, strong crew, you know, people that I bounce off stuff. My boy Archie, he's due to 76ers now. He's at Iona. Frenchie. Shouts to Troy Press. Shouts to Destroy. He just did the Super Bowl, then the All-Star. So it's like we all communicate with each other, and then, you know, especially build your network out of town too.
Got to.
Yeah, build your network out of town. Very important.
For you at this point in your career, right? And I think this is something that would be great to hear for not only aspiring announcers and MCs, but I think people in general working in the industry, whether it's sports and music, in terms of how does one begin to really understand themselves? And how does one do so to the point where they stick by that and don't let an opportunity where there's a lot of money or a lot of star power, convey them to be like, yo, let me jump on this, even though it may not be the best fit for me. Like, how does one get to that point? And more so, how were you able to get to that point?
I just think I became comfortable with myself, and I'm a man based on morals and principles. So, if it's a brand I don't align with, I'm not going to rock with it. Now, going back to N1, my client was the truth, smoking prevention. I was anti-cigarette. And that's someone a company I aligned myself with and went above and beyond. I'm vegan. What's it look like me doing a glizzy tour?
Yeah,
what's that look like?
That'll be wild.
What's that look like? But doing something I really don't know about. And everyone's different. Everyone's just gonna, the model now is to chase the bag and do everything. But at the point that I am right now and the type of man I am, I'm not here just to do anything. It has to be the right fit. But then you also have to balance with, making the money.
Yeah.
This is all I do. I mean, I'm a full-time MC. I mean, I have a staffing agency and do other things and consulting here and there, but this is my bread and butter. So tread lightly, man. Tread lightly. Yeah.
Got to. I got a couple more questions for you, Jason. For what you do on a day-to-day, again, our special guest here, my guy right here, man, you literally find him hosting at MSG, right? You just finished doing the Pro Bowl. You've done a lot of things in college football, specifically the SEC. Ooh. What is your routine like on game days? What helps you get prepared, especially when you're handling opportunities of that magnitude?
Music. I start the day out, music, stretch. First of all, stretch, get right, play some instrumentals, freestyle to get my lung capacity open. And
16, 32?
Whatever. I just go off.
48 perhaps?
But no, real freestyle.
Jeez,
not like written. I haven't written a rap in 15 years. I don't know if I could sit down and write a rap, but freestyle every day of my life. And it keeps me sharper.
Yeah.
It keeps me, that's why my clients, the biggest thing about me, and I'm not like a big Barry Horowitz, pat myself on the back guy, but, I'm one less thing a client has to worry about. Jason's here. All right. He got that under control because they rarely have to write a script for me. I just go out and do my thing. But, so it's that. I start with that, a nice juice if possible.
Of course.
If I'm home, if I'm away, I'll try to, bring something with me and tunes and just get right. Just get in the right mind state, get to the event early and just vibe out. I'm all about the vibe and the energy. Yeah. Like if the energy's not right, I'm likely not to give my best performance. If the energy's right, I'm good to go.
Last question I got for you, bro, before we wrap up. I asked you at the beginning, what made you fall in love with basketball? Yeah. Last question, what keeps you in love with basketball?
Oh, man. What keeps me in love with the game, it's the best sport in the world. It just is from, the highlights to the anticipation of like a big matchup to, leading into the playoffs when it gets really intense. Seeing the kids out there. The women's game is continuing to grow. I love women's basketball, especially the W. Bro. I hosted for the Liberty for 10 years. Unfortunately, that ended last season. That should bring me back, by the way. Stop playing.
100%.
Probably the one of the most things I love about basketball is it's universal. Like, we may not speak the same language, but the ball goes in the hoop to the same.
Yeah.
We pretty much the same rules for the most part. So we can play and we can watch and enjoy without even really knowing each other or really knowing how to really communicate. And I think the future's in good hands. I thought the dunk contest was incredible this weekend, by the way. Shout out to Mac. He did that thing. Even though he wasn't, really in the league, we need that. And hopefully more people, more ballers step up. Like, all right, we got to get into this. But I love this game, man. I love the video games. I love the 2K. I'm a 2K My Team junkie. My wife is always like, play too much. Play too much. But it's all right. But shouts to them. But it's the best sport in the world. Who doesn't love basketball? Who doesn't?
Basketball is beautiful, bro.
Basketball is life,
I'm a geek for it, bro.
The sneaker, basketball, sneaker culture because of basketball and rap and hip hop. It's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
Jason Negron.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brody, for pulling up on us, man, at the Ball Players Podcast.
I appreciate it.
Greatly appreciate what we've been building, bro, getting to know you. Thank you for being one of the first people, literally, when I started getting this event access to show love repeatedly over the years, bro. Never switched up. Always show love. It's been great watching you grow and do all these big things, man. And ball players, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Seriously, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you follow us on socials. We'll have everything beyond and ready for you below. Of course, salute to 1:37 p.m. for presenting it. Again, fulfill your curiosity by following at 1:37 p.m. so you can stay up to date on everything sports, music, Web3, fashion, pop culture, collectibles, and beyond. This your boy Art signing off, man. Holla at y'all next time.
Peace.